All right, welcome back to Who Taught Us That podcast with Jay and Miss Lady, where we talk about a variety of topics to figure out who taught us that. So what are we talking about today, Miss Lady?
All right, y'all. Hey, I told you I'm gonna be smoking on that marijuana minimum for a minute. Y'all like that? I like MMM. No.
Come on with the stuff.
Right. All right, so y'all already know we trying to figure out who taught us some things. So I had someone ask me a question. So I am going to ask Jay, and she about to be mad, y'all. I'm going to warn y'all right now. She is about to be hot. So someone asked me a question. They said, well, they made a statement to me, okay? What they said to me, they said, if I was to remarry and something happened to me, and this is a woman, she said, if something happens to me where I can no longer have sex with my husband, then I will give him full permission to go have sex with someone else. So my response was, why wouldn't you just get a divorce? Why would you give your husband permission to go lay with another woman or women or whatever the case? And that just kind of messed me up. I think I got a full attitude about it. And so I'm asking you, Jay, how do you feel about that? If something happened, you're not dying, there's just something wrong where you can no longer physically,
have intercourse anymore?
Yes, with your husband. Would you be okay with giving him permission to go and, release with other women?
No. That is a simple N-O period. No, and if he really loves me, we wouldn't have to have that conversation anyway. So, and then when you said, why wouldn't you get a divorce? Why would you need to get a divorce just because you can't be sexually active anymore? That I don't understand why you made that suggestion.
Because the way that she said it, the way she presented it, like, okay, never ever will I ever be able to satisfy my husband again in that manner. And she didn't say nothing about the mouth or whatever, just you know.
Right.
And so I'm like, so you're trying to tell me that you would be okay with this man, the way he used to love on you, loving you, make love to you. You telling me that you would mentally be okay with him doing this to another woman? You're not. You're not going to be okay with that. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
And in that manner, then divorce him. But let me back up. I said, this is the problem I have with marriage and people in their vows.
Yeah.
Because it clearly tells us, forsaking all others, till death do us part. So there's going to come a time when something's going to happen in your marriage to where it's going to challenge you. Mm-hmm. And do you take the easy road out? Do you, and so her answer was, this is what I would want to do. That's not selfish. She said, I believe that that's, it would be selfish of me to expect anything different. No, I don't agree with that. I think if that's the road you want to go, you need to divorce him.
Okay, so you're kind of saying something opposite of kind of what the person is saying. Now, I know a lot of people in relationships that are not being sexually active. That means that you are, satisfying your mate in other ways. And I don't think that a marriage should be solely on the sex life. Yes, there will be times where you will want to engage in sexual activities, but I can't see giving nobody that I love permission to go and be slopping on somebody else. I just can't. And then you're going to come back to me, and eventually you're going to have feelings for that other person, and then eventually you are going to want to separate with me. Now, some people don't have a problem with sharing their man and bringing other people into the relationship, but as soon as I hear somebody say, well, we invite other people into the bedroom with us, I know a divorce is coming right behind that.
And who taught us that? Why do we think that that's okay? Who
to
taught
bring
us
somebody else into
to
it?
share in that manner? Because I'm not looking at that like, girl, my hair is messed up. Give me your comb so I can, But some people are like funny acting. They don't want you to use their comb.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
So there's different things that some people draw the line on. I'm not sharing.
Yeah.
And so
That's funny because some people are taught that when you share a comb and your hair intertwines, that there's some type of spiritual. So that's funny that you said, because you are taught that most times.
Exactly. A lot of things, and I think
that's like a brush.
Yes. Yeah. And
we're getting off topic though,
yes,
but you are taught that.
But yes, but it's kind of same in the same topic because we talk about sharing, which I do feel like this is a form of like, did somebody teach her that? You know, where is that coming from?
I think some of that comes from not respecting yourself. I don't know. I don't want to say not respecting yourself. Not having enough, self-respect. Because I just can't see giving my mate permission. I mean, it's no different than cheating and you find out that person is cheating with someone else. I don't know. I think a lot of women do lack that interconnect, and they always want to please somebody else as opposed to pleasing themselves. Mentally, she's kind of saying, well, I want him to be happy, but I don't know that that's going to make her happy to know that he been out sleeping with somebody else. I don't see how that can make somebody happy.
I don't either. I feel like it's going to do the opposite.
Yeah,
it's going to break you down, tear you up.
Mentally.
I mean, because you should already feel less than, because you can't provide, you can't do this for your husband, and so for him to go get it from somebody else, and I did take a survey. I asked 4 men, and every last one of them men said they would not
do that.
They would not do that.
Yeah, I just can't see. I wouldn't be pushing my man off on somebody else. That's crazy to me. But this also makes me think about some movies. Of course, I can't think of the name of them, but in some of the movies, sometimes when the woman finds out that the husband is cheating and they try to leave, come back, whatever, and then the husband feels like, well, you know about it now, so you ought to be good. Now I ain't got to sneak around and tell you I'm with such and so. You just know that I'm going to see such and so.
Right.
There are like several movies that depict that. So I don't know if our people witness that from their parents or aunts or uncles, or sometimes you hear people in your family say, I know he messing around with such and so, but I don't care. When he with me, his attention is on me. I just have never been one of them girls. I don't want to know you messing around. I don't want to feel like you messing around, because I'm just selfish like that.
Remember the one celebrity, I don't know what she did, but the B. Smith or...
Oh, yeah.
And she was sick.
Yes.
And her husband
had brought in another woman.
And everybody had, Now,
some people try to position that in a way to say that she knew about it. But I think at the time, and I didn't follow the story good enough to really know if she knew about it before she got sick, or if they're trying to say that I don't know. But I think that's why so many people had so much to say, because after a certain period, I don't think she could speak or anything. I think she was kind of out of it.
They tried to set it up, if I'm not mistaken, if I am, forgive me, that she had given him permission before she got to the and basically telling him to live his life and be happy. And so,
but do you think she meant that, like, after I die, like, I don't want you to? And I think that everybody wants their mate to be happy. They don't want them to sit around and just keep reliving their death or their illness. But you wait until I'm long gone and you didn't.
I think with
put
women,
the dirt on me, let the grass grow on
right.
top of me first. Yeah,
I think with women though, I think it's because a woman is known and has been known to be platonic or celibate. Like, she doesn't have to go out and seek sex or whatever, although this new generation would probably say different,
right?
But,
yes,
versus the man, men, they release, they build up, even in their sleep they release, and so I think with that being said, I think the person that originally said this, I think she was thinking in that manner, like, why make him suffer?
I don't think think that's suffering, though. I mean, I just don't see it like that. So the 4 men that you asked that question to who agreed with us, did they give you any reason why they would not want to be with somebody else?
Because they all 4 said that they take marriage literally. Like, that's a vow I made. So I don't get a choice to go and be with another woman because something is wrong over here. Basically, summing it up in a nutshell. I mean, they were all separate times, not in a group, not listening. One didn't hear, like they had their own opinion. One guy, though, shared the Islamic, religion, Muslim. And so he was like, well, if she was to pick my next wife, then we could do it in that manner. And so I'm like, okay, now you crossing over to another. But he said if she didn't, then he wouldn't, do it, because in that religion, that wife picks the next wife.
Yeah. That's kind of like, I can't think of this one movie either, but when the wife told the best friend he can marry anybody but such and so after I die, I said, see, that would be me. I would have a list of who you couldn't go back to.
Exactly.
Just because I'm petty like that. But I don't know. I think that's interesting that the men are saying that and a woman is saying that. She didn't give. She just said that she just feels like, he deserves to be happy. But I don't understand. I mean, she's still up moving around. What would make her think he's not happy? Because they're not being sexual?
I guess, because they're not being sexual. But then if you really think deep on it, because I said that, that mental marijuana, if you really think deep on it, there is no reason. I mean, they got lubricant. There is not one single solitary reason that a woman shouldn't be able to have sex with her man unless, I didn't say she could move or enjoy it.
When people are going through chemo, they tell them they can't have sex.
Why? Because they're so tired?
No, because of the chemicals or something.
They shouldn't have children.
Well, but they can still have sex?
They can have sex.
Oh, I thought they couldn't have sex.
They can have sex.
So that's what I was going to say. If it's a mental thing, but that's temporary. I mean,
that is temporary. So that's what I'm saying. Unless, there's conditions out there where, like, somebody might have something that hurts them. Like if pressure is on my body or something and it hurts me, or it may hurt her to move, But if she's just laying there and there's a entryway for him to handle his business, what man would want to do that? But if you want to be faithful or loving on your wife, and that's what you got to do for in that moment, if she's okay with that.
I don't think that. I don't see that as an option. The only option I see is that we just not having sex. He's not having sex. I'm not having sex.
Face down.
I just don't see that. I'm trying to think. I think about, women or men when their spouse goes overseas, for military reasons. Should they have sex because they waiting?
Because
that person is not having sex.
Come on.
What? What's the difference?
Now,
they're away.
How many you think? People say that they're you know how many kids is out there that's been girl
that ain't your daddy.
Yeah,
and nobody knows.
Right? No, and we're talking about a situation because that's a whole nother. We're talking about a situation of illness. Like this is a medical reason, no other reason, just medical.
That you cannot have sex with your spouse.
Yes,
you are legally married.
Yes,
I just think it's about being committed.
I agree with you.
I take it personal. Like, I just cannot see sharing a person that I love with somebody else.
I'm just not going to do it because, again, the vows. Unless you didn't take those vows, unless you had...
Well, some people write their own vows. And so I wonder if they didn't say that. You kind of know what you're getting ahead of time.
If they didn't say it, if they specifically let out... forsaking all others and through sickness and in health, and if they left all that out and they like, oh well, I didn't say that, then okay, so be it then.
But couldn't that have been like an unwritten rule though too? That's kind of unwritten. But if my vows don't say I'm going to be committed to you 100%. Do that mean that I didn't want you to be?
Who taught you that?
No,
Who who taught you that those vows were sacred? Did somebody teach you that?
Well, what's the purpose of standing up in front of everybody?
What's the purpose of marriage then?
Yeah, because that's a whole nother thing. There's so many people nowadays, when they look at the government and how it's set up and how they tag numbers onto you as an individual on your birth certificate, on your social security, then also on your marriage. And then, you know, you could lose finances being married or single, even as you get older. I see older people who won't get married because they don't want their benefits cut in half because now it's considered a two-person income. Which is crazy, but who taught me that? Well, I just think over the course of time, being married is supposed to be a sacred thing. Who taught me that over the years of watching people get married?
See, I never wanted to get married. I never did because I was taught, I mean, I guess by looking at the marriages in my family, that it was a commitment. Like, your husband, I need to do what he tell me to do.
Yeah.
I need to. Yeah. So wait a minute. Okay, so hold on. I'm supposed to check in with him when I do what? And I need to share my money with him? And what you mean we got to have the same bank account? And why? Why am I doing all this?
All those things are subjective to the individual.
But I'm just telling you, that's why I never wanted to get married, because that's what I was taught. I was taught that a woman is supposed to be submissive.
Yes.
You know, your husband is the head of the house.
Yes.
He's supposed to control this. He's supposed to do
control.
Well, I'm saying the finances, he's supposed to lead you. Lead us to wherever we going. You know, he's supposed to have control. That's what it is. In a nutshell, it is control. You are giving this man
I disagree with you, ma'am.
Now, hold on. Let me finish. It's about to get good, y'all. Because think about it. A traditional marriage, when the father, when that man goes and asks that father for his daughter's hand, he's telling the father, I am relinquishing you. I want to take on everything that you've been doing.
Yes.
I want her to be my wife. And the father has been taking care of this woman. He's, from time she was a little girl, buying her stuff, feeding her, doing whatever, basically
looking out for the best interests of the
his
child.
Yeah. And so now here comes this man that says, okay, I want to take over. I want her to be my wife, and I want to love her and do all these things for her. And so that father's like, okay, I'm gonna give. Who gives this woman? And the father, I do. And so he gives her away, and from there, that woman is supposed to. Who
came out with that mess?
Look here. I'm just telling you why I never want, because this is what I was taught.
Yeah.
That's why I never wanted to get married, because you don't control me. I'm my own person. Keep saying control.
I know.
You don't like that word at all. I know. But basically, that's what it is. It should be a mutual
agreement. I think this is where people go wrong with marriage. For one, everybody has their own ideal of what marriage should look like. That's number one. If you are with somebody, they need to be your friend, almost your best friend, where you can tell them everything, even the stuff that you didn't want to say.
That's this new marriage.
No.
So when you was younger, you was taught this? Go back to when you was younger.
Okay, when I go back to when I was younger, I think about the happy marriages were the people who seemed to get along with each other very well. But I still saw a lot of women like dictating to their husbands when I was growing up, and I was like, why is she so mean? I remember one time we were around this married couple, and the wife would tell the husband everything to do. Go do this. And my son was young at the time, and he says, why does she get to tell you what to do all the time? That just seems so mean that you not think for yourself. I was so embarrassed. I was like, please, child of mine, be quiet. But the lady was just so... It was just so military.
Happy wife.
Yeah, and that was his whole... moral. She eventually ended up dying. He didn't know what to do with himself. He ended up marrying somebody else just because he could not live with being by himself. I don't even know that you really know the woman, but
did you? So when you were growing up, did you think that you would be in a marriage where you would be submissive, where a man could lead you and you would fully trust that man?
That was the ideal, yes.
Okay.
I thought that I would marry somebody who I could fully trust.
Okay.
But I lack the ability to fully trust because people ain't worth a dang on.
Right. Right.
As soon as people start doing me wrong, yeah, I'm backpedaling. Because I already trust you. I mean, I'm starting out giving you 100% trust. People kind of just itch away from that 100% little by little. Before I know it, I'm all the way back past the half-yard line. I'm like, yeah.
I think the marriages, the pre-whatever, I don't even know when it changed. I think
Pre-counseling?
No, it was somewhere in history.
Yeah, tell me about
the
that.
90s or something. I don't know when it happened, where marriages were different. Like, you know, people, even though you knew the man or the woman, I ain't going to just go on the man, might not have been doing everything right. You know, the man might not have been working. The woman somebody might have been cheating. But they believed in staying married and working it out.
Yeah, I think that was a bunch of balaka. Because a lot of people stay married. I could name off people. I want to do it right now. But I can name off people who I can tell you are not happy in your marriage. But in order for me to save face, I am going to continue to be married. Now, I know you know people like that.
I know people that stayed married but wasn't together.
Same difference.
Like they didn't get a divorce.
Same difference. People put on this front like everything is, you know, I hate to use the word perfect because nothing is perfect, but that's how people try to portray stuff. And I think that one of the biggest problem with marriage is things do change, and sometimes you do have to make changes, just like the friend who said, you know, if I can't have sex anymore, that's a compromise that the husband and wife have to make together. And I think going into a marriage, if this person is your friend, because first of all, you do have to trust that individual. You do have to believe that if something happened to you, whether it's a man or female, that they're going to be able to take care of stuff when you're unable to. And I think that's one of the problems that I see a lot of people make when I was younger, where the man took care of everything, writing out the bills, and then something happens to him and the wife is just stuck, don't know what to do. And I know a lady right now, her husband died, she ain't never wrote out a check, she ain't never paid a bill, she don't know what to do. And why is that okay? I don't think there's nothing wrong with the man being
she
over
let him
it.
lead her.
She did, but she made no provisions afterwards, and I think that is a mistake.
That is, but think about it, Jay. I think that is what was being taught. I think you just described what was being taught. We as women were supposed to sit back and let the man lead, to the point to where something happened to him and now she's like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Charlie been taking care of me for the last 50 years and I don't know what to do.
Yeah, and then unfortunately sometimes that trickles down to your kids. And that's why a lot of children don't know how to live on their own, because they leave mom and pa's house and now they with, you know, whoever they're dating, and still never took the responsibility on themselves to see what it's like to live on their own. Now, that's about as bad. I saw this video one time where this girl had her own car. She was off at college. And her roommate said, oh, why don't you drive your car anymore? She said, I don't know how to put gas in it. Where her daddy had been putting gas in her car. She didn't know how to put gas in it. She didn't know how to do something else. Now, you know, I'm going to tell a little bit of my business, because my mom was a stay-at-home mom. She cooked, she cleaned, she did all the things. So when I went off to college, I didn't know how to do none of those things, because she was like, get out the kitchen, move out the way I got it, you know. So when I got to college, my best friend had to teach me how to wash clothes, how to cook, all the things, because all that time, if I did cook, it was just some BS. It wasn't like a real meal. But so over the years, you learn how to not take care of yourself. So it's no different with a marriage. If you start out with a marriage and you are taking on everything, the least you can do is show your spouse, this is where the bills are, we pay them, you know, or have it written up or something. Because you have to always think anything can happen in a split of a second. get in a car wreck or whatever, and then the person don't know nothing.
I think people get comfortable in that. You being a child, you're like, oh, mom probably didn't even think about it because she just did it,
right?
And you just lived,
yes.
And so it wasn't a take advantage or anything. It was just like, oh, okay, mama got me or whatever. And so then when you were off on your own, you're like, well, wait a minute,
right?
Well, mama ain't here to
do I take these clothes back
where my
home?
clothes
Can you
at?
do it?
Where my clean clothes at? Where my one shirt? Oh, I wore that and did nobody wash it? Because and that happened with me and my oldest son. I just, you just get used to doing stuff.
Yes.
And I didn't even think nothing of it until he got a girlfriend, and she was like, "You have ruined him." And I'm like, "What?" And she's like, I'm not trying to be his mama.
I know that's
I'm not trying
girl.
to do his clothes. I'm not trying to do this and that. And I'm like, oh. And it didn't, and up until that moment, I never looked at it like that. I never looked at it like, I was ruining him. I just looked at it like I was being a mother. But she was like, no, you are you making him depend on a woman. Like it's our job, and it's not our job.
Right.
And
Good
I'm like,
for her.
yeah.
I don't know that I would have been, I would have just been looking at him like, listen here.
She ain't it.
I'm going to need you to get yourself together because, we ain't about to do all this.
No, I took it. I was like, I can't even, argue with you because I never looked at it like that. But I definitely saw what she was saying because I would have been the same way. Some grown man coming in, what you, sweetie, I'm not here to do your clothes. I'm not your mama.
But the flip side to that is when I began to have children, I vowed that they would not be like that. So every year they learned something. Like you turn 5, all right, let's learn how to sort these clothes and wash them. You turn 6, all right, now we get ready to cut grass. How do you change the oil in the lawnmower at 7? So we build onto it. So
that is wonderful.
Yeah.
So you raised the right man. So I bet they wife or when they like,
they can cook better than me. All the things, that they still got things that they can learn. But the stuff that I was lacking, I'm like, we not about to do that.
Yeah, my oldest, he's straight now. He's good. She got him in line. He's straight now, but I cannot say that I contributed to that. I probably was the one that created the monster.
Yes. Oh,
you
Lord.
know.
So he probably be looking like, I'm gonna have to go have sex with somebody since you can't do it no more. My mama told me to take care of myself.
Nah, he's good. He's like, no, I wouldn't. He said he would. And again, who taught us that? Where it come from? But he puts a very high value on marriage.
Really?
Very high value on marriage.
Why do you think that is?
I have no idea. I don't know. I'm not going to take credit or anything. I don't know where, but he does. He just puts a very high value on it. He wants to be married. He doesn't believe in all that, the what they call them under your belt, the numbers or whatever.
What?
Yeah, know what the slick term. I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah,
right
okay,
now.
all right. Where they just have all these different women lined up. Bodies. Okay, yeah.
He ain't believing in all that. He just, you want to find a good woman that's good to him and be right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See, he probably gonna get the right one. Lord, I'm gonna have to line him up. I'll be like, come here, let me ask some questions because he's too nice, and so I need to,
No, he's not nice. That's the problem. He is not nice. He's definitely a male version.
Oh gosh, bless their heart then.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know why. I guess once people have sex, that's why they put so much value onto it, and a lot of the songs are very sexual in nature, and so I guess that's why. That's always the first thing somebody thinks about in a marriage. If I can't have sex, then that's just so
because
weird.
We're in a sex simple world now. I shouldn't say simple,
Don't
but
say simple.
We are in a very Sodom and Gomorrah. Can I say that? We're in a very sexual world. I mean, everything is based around sex. Everything.
Yes.
I mean, everything. is based around sex.
But it kind of always have been when you think about it. Because when they came out with that one song and people was just like flipping out about it, and then people started playing old versions of songs where the lady was saying the same nasty stuff. I'm like, yeah, so it ain't nothing new. It's just you could just hear it on the radio now.
Yeah. Or, I mean, look at the movie. What was that movie, Sausage Party?
Oh God, I couldn't even watch that. I said, why did they make this a cartoon? This ain't even appropriate for adults. This should have been X-rated.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I mean, when you think
I have never watched that all the way through.
I haven't either. I think I fell asleep trying to watch. I'm like, I can't. But when you think about a lot of things that's out there, it's definitely geared towards sex. I mean, they do make everything like if somebody can't have sex, like that's your out. Like
out of a marriage?
That's your out. Like,
what?
They can't do it, then, hey, you got needs. Don't tell me you ain't heard.
I have never heard that.
Yes.
That is so sad.
Yeah.
But I guess it's no different then, because that's your out if somebody is cheating on you. It says it in the Bible. If somebody's committing adultery, that you can, peace out. So you wouldn't want to be, yeah. Because what I'm not trying to have is the cooties. So, yeah, you could go and have sex on over there and leave me alone, because no thank you.
We are grateful to those that joined us today, discussing things that challenge our mindset. So until the next time, become your own peace, be slow to speak, fast to think, and before you release it, ask yourself, who taught us that?